this is going to be embarrassing to record, but I'm going to walk you through every single way I failed in 2025. And hopefully your list this year will be a lot shorter than mine was in 2025. Because here's the thing, I had one goal last year to make music, but I spent the entire year doing everything except that. I launched 5 different business ideas. 5. Every single one of them failed for the same reason. So if you're somebody who's juggling multiple projects or you keep starting things you never finish, this video is for you. I'm going to walk you through all 5 failures, show the exact mistake in each one, and then give you one filter question to prevent all of this. So by the end, you'll know exactly when to say no. So if you don't know me, I'm an electronic artist named Patrick Romeo, and I've been making music for about 10 years. And this is important context of why I failed so much last year. I've always been someone who's enjoyed both sides of the industry. I've been a tour manager, I produced for other artists, and I've even run auto-tune for live shows as well for hip-hop artists. So there's always been that thought that I could pursue multiple things at once to support my music career. But the problem was I was committing to too many things at once, and I didn't have a filter to what I should actually pursue and what I shouldn't. The overarching theme here is that context switching absolutely killed me this year. Okay, failure number 1. The LinkedIn course. Early 2025, I had an idea. So I'm a big fan of LinkedIn, and before you come at me, I know this is a very unpopular opinion, but generally every opportunity that I've got in my career thus far has been through LinkedIn. It's a place where all the music executives hang out. It's where the decision makers hang out. Either way, doesn't matter. So I thought, what if I could create a program that could help other creatives get work on LinkedIn? Because I was getting a lot of work from LinkedIn, and some of my other creative friends were asking like, how are you using LinkedIn? How are you using it to get more work? So I built this whole thing, a 50 video course, a community, a website with a payment system, an online space. I spent about 3 to 6 weeks on this, recorded everything in a week, stayed up all night trying to get everything up and running. And then I launched it, and crickets. Like, no one wanted it. Maybe 1 or 2 people, but no one wanted it. I didn't account for the fact that maybe the value wasn't good, or either maybe people weren't wanting this specifically. But here's the one thing I did learn from it. I learned how to set up websites. I learned how to set up e-commerce systems. I learned how to do Facebook ads more than I already knew. Stuff I'll absolutely use later in my artist career. So not a total waste, but definitely not what I should have been doing. Failure number 2, the marketing campaign rabbit hole. This is where I went right in. So fast forward a few months, I've flown to England for the South by Southwest conference in London and the Brighton Music Conference in Brighton. I applied to 2 grants to get there, both rejected. But I thought, let's just go anyway. But this right here was honestly one of the best decisions of the year. I met incredible people, learned a ton, and solidified that I want to be a music artist and creator. But here's where it got messy. Because I learned so much, I had so many more ideas. So one of the things I learned there was how marketing agencies and labels were using TikToks with fan and clip accounts to Trojan horse their music into other people's content. I found this really fascinating because I've always loved guerrilla marketing. And if you're just making ads, people can be like, oh, that's an ad, scroll over. But if you can make content that integrates the music organically, genius. So I discovered this platform where you can connect with other TikTok creators and editors. And if they use your music in their videos, you pay them like $1 every 1,000 views. Pretty cool. So I ran a few trial campaigns with some artist friends and it worked really well. We got some great results. But then I realized how much admin work actually goes into this for what we get out of it. You have to contact so many creators. There's so much back-end stuff you actually have to do to make sure the content is great. It was just so much extra work than I originally anticipated. So I stopped. But I learned something crucial here. It doesn't matter how good the marketing is. If your song isn't good, it's not going to go anywhere. And generally, I think I'll revisit this strategy with my own music in the future. And honestly, I didn't think I'd be talking about a lot of this stuff because as an artist, you're supposed to just, I guess, post music and be like, hey, here's my song. But I'm realizing kind of this process of sharing it and finding new ways for it to reach people. But back in 2025, the passion for the marketing side kind of became a bit of a problem because every new strategy I learned, I had to try and I had to work with other people to try it with them too. So moving on to failure number 3. So after learning about this Trojan horse music strategy, I started looking at other ways I could try and make this work. So I saw people making movie edits and TV show accounts to put their music in there. So you've definitely probably seen them when you're scrolling on short form. So I tried it out, making movie and TV show edits, and generally I enjoyed it because I never was really going to do this for somebody else. Who better to try this out on than my own music? So moving on to failure number 4. Back in London, I went to a lot of conferences where people were talking about using Substack to connect more with their audiences. So then I had another idea. What if I created a Substack that I could share my favorite songs of each week and then just push some of my music in there because it's going to be my favorite electronic songs of the week. So people viewing it will probably also like my music. Not a bad idea, right? And I did this for about 6 to 8 weeks, that every week I'd share some of my favorite music and then also place in some of the tracks I was working on at the moment. It was actually a great way to discover new music and connect with new artists and generally learn how Substack as a platform worked. But then I realized I don't really want to be a music journalist. At least not now, and at least not in this way. I definitely have some ideas around Substack that I might explore in the future, but for now, I stopped it again. And here's the crazy thing. This is basically the same mistake twice. At the start of the year, I was also doing a weekly newsletter before all the other stuff was going on. It was kind of like what I'm doing now with these vlogs, talking about stories, talking about what I'm doing, and just generally documenting what I'm doing throughout the week. So like my favorite songs, my favorite books. And I really did enjoy that, but I stopped it because I was doing all these other things. So maybe I should bring it back in the future. Who knows? Let me know down below. Okay, now finally, failure number 5. So after London, I'm running all these audio clipping campaigns for artists, writing music for people that I've met over there, writing sync music for production libraries, and writing my own stuff as well. Juggling this all at once. And then because apparently I didn't have enough ideas, I tried one more thing. So I used to work a lot as a DJ in clubs back when I was 18. A lot of hours spent there. At the time, what I remember was one of the biggest problems was how do you pay promoters fairly? You pay them in drink cards, you pay them in bits of cash for how many people they bring in. Like, how do you measure the value they're actually bringing into the club? So my idea was to use the same tech from the audio clipping campaigns from before, where you're paying, I don't know, $1 per 1,000 views, but do that for an exclusive promoter group where the promoters can now get paid for content they're making about the club and actually get paid for the value they're bringing. I thought this was a cool concept and I tried it out. Again, the technical execution was something that I didn't anticipate myself. And there was a lot of things where the platforms just wasn't performing how I needed it to, and it was causing a lot of problems for other people. So again, I dropped it pretty quickly. So by the end of the year, I'm doing audio clipping campaigns, juggling multiple things, writing music for other people, writing music for myself. And then something finally clicked. I was failing fast and I was failing often. And because I was doing that, I was quickly learning what worked and what didn't, and what actually mattered. The thing that caused all these failures and the belief that I mentioned at the start, I thought I needed to create a business to support my music career. But the truth is, I should have got a stable job to support myself financially and use all my creative energy into my music project. I was building businesses to fund my art when I should have been working a job to fund my art. The businesses weren't supporting my music, they were replacing it. So all these ideas, the things I'm interested in, the things I could pursue later in life, but I was trying to do everything so fast that I lost track of what actually mattered. So that's what I'm doing this year. 2026 is the year of saying no. It's the year of focus. Every decision I make is going to go through one filter. Does this make the music better? Does this make the music better? Does this make the boat go faster? If the answer is no, I'm not doing it. It's definitely embarrassing to record all of this and put it out there. But if watching me fail 5 times means that you find the same pattern in your own life, then hopefully your 2026 will be a lot more focused than my 2025 was. That's the filter question you need to ask. Does it support my goal or does it replace it? Is what I'm doing the signal or is it the noise? So yeah, if you want to see what I'm up to this year, if you want to hear more stories from the past, my lessons, my learnings, the touring stuff, the production stuff, all of that, please stick around, subscribe, let me know what else you want to see below. Because this year, I'm actually going to make music, so keep an eye out for it. It's coming. But yeah, I'll see you in the next one.